when you look at the election that just happened, right, there's always this, it's the most important election of our lifetime mantra. Sometimes that feels closer to the truth than other times. This was a very consequential election, and we've heard President Trump talk a lot about a mandate that he feels that he's won, and he swept the swing states, won the popular vote, did some things that folks were not expecting him to do, at least the skeptics. By the same token, I don't have to tell you how slim the majority is in your House, even in the upper chamber as well. I know that feels like more breathing room, but still awfully close. How do you look at what the voters decided in November? Does that constitute a mandate for the party generally? And what does that look like in terms of your priorities here?
Great question. I think there is a mandate. Not only did President Trump win the Electoral College soundly, he also won the popular vote, 77 million votes. We got our highest vote total ever in history of the House Republicans, 74.8 million votes. We did all that together. Some would say, oh, you rode President Trump's coattails, but I think it was a combination of things. What we achieved in this election cycle was a demographic shift. I think a once-in-a-generation, once-in-my-lifetime kind of event, where we had a record number of Hispanic and Latino voters, for example, Black and African American voters, Jewish voters and union workers and all these people who had not historically been in our camp, and they came over not reluctantly but enthusiastically. They were looking for an alternative. The left went too far. The woke progressive nonsense, it's sort of like, as I explained it in my mind, the pendulum. They pushed so aggressively, so quickly that it clicked, and now it's coming back. President Trump represents a force that is pushing it back to common sense and the center-right kind of balance where we are and always have been in the nation. And we're going to be a force of that as well. So we do see it as a mandate. We do see it as our responsibility to take care of business. Now, I want you to know that, I traveled the country nonstop last year to make sure we kept the majority and grew it. And every day, almost literally, that we were not in session, I was on the road. I did over 350 campaign events, 250 cities in 40 states. I logged enough miles to circle the globe 5.5 times last year. That's a real statistic. I was 4 inches taller when I became Speaker of the House. Okay, they beat me down mercilessly. But we did grow the majority, and I was so proud, Guy, because I had 220 Republicans and 215 Democrats. And then President Trump began to cull the herd. And so he took a few, and I called him like, Mr. President, you cannot take any more. We're going to be down to 1. Oh, Mike, did I do that? Yes, you did, sir. We're down to 1. So now, really, this is true. We have a 1-vote margin now, smallest in history, right? So for a big chunk of the first 100 days of the Congress and perhaps beyond, this is not an easy task. But we're going to get it done. We have the most aggressive, important legislative agenda that we've had certainly in my lifetime, I think. And when we get this done, it will be an extraordinary achievement because the vote's margin is so small.